Today we will be talking about chemical and physical changes, an introduction to chemistry in 7th grade science. Our goals and objectives are analyze and interpret qualitative data to describe substances using chemical properties, including the ability to burn or rust. We will also discuss combustion, oxidation, tarnish, decomposition, and cooking. We will also be looking at comparing and contrasting chemical and physical properties, including pH, solubility, and reaction with water. We will also discuss endo and exothermic processes. Qualitative data is data that is characterized, it is observed and recorded, and not numerical in nature. Examples include combustion, which is the process of burning something, oxidation, any process in which oxygen combines with an element or substance. This can happen slowly, like when you place metal in water and create rust, or quickly, like when oxygen comes into contact with something on fire. Tarnishing is to lose luster or shine due to being exposed to air or moisture. Decomposition is when something breaks down into smaller fragments. Cooking is simply combining, mixing, and heating ingredients. Endothermic and exothermic processes. Endothermic process is any process which requires or absorbs thermal energy from its surroundings, such as heat. Example, melting an ice cube with heat, which is a physical process, or dissolving a solid salt in water, which is a chemical process. Exothermic process is a chemical reaction that releases energy as light or heat. An example would be lighting a candle which produces a flame. You can see the fire, you can watch the wax melt, and you can feel the heat from the flame. pH is a scale from 1 to 14 to determine if a water-based solution is an acid or a base. Acidic solutions have a lower pH, while basic solutions have a higher pH. At room temperature, water will have a pH of 7 because it is considered as neutral. Solubility is the ability to be dissolved, especially in water. A reaction with water happens when a metal is mixed with water and hydrogen is produced. Energy transfer with physical properties. A liquid, such as water, can transform into any state of matter, but it remains just that, water. The compound H2O doesn't break down, so it remains the same. What happens when you boil water? Well, of course, heat is produced and it turns the water into steam, better known as water vapor. Well, what happens when that steam or water vapor hits a cold surface? It turns back into a liquid known as condensation. Well, what happens when you set water in a freezer? Well, of course it becomes ice. It transforms back into a solid. So to recap, we talked about qualitative data is used to describe something that happens to a substance. Endothermic and exothermic are both processes used to describe something that takes in heat or gives off heat. The pH is used to tell if something is acidic, neutral, or basic. Water at room temperature is the only neutral substance. Energy transfer is when heat is either lost or produced and can cause something to change from a solid to a liquid or to a gas.